Hey sugars. All right, so I got a lot of inboxes, comments, and requests asking with the loose end right here. We're going to start pulling it through so you can pull the yarn through this way, but we're making our first row. So since we got it pulled through here, then you come pull it through here. Okay, my knots are about 2 fingers wide, and you want to keep that sizing throughout the blanket. So you're just coming through and pulling, come through and pull. You'll do that this first row. We're going to go down to maybe 20, 25. So your first row you're going to count. We already did 3, and we'll keep going down to about 25. Okay, so finished with the first row. As you can see, it went to, I went to 20. Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to hold it up so you can see the length. If that's not long enough for what you want to do, You could go to 25. If you're making a really big blanket and maybe doubling the balls of yarn to like using 10 per blanket or something like that, you could probably even go 30, 40 if you wanted to, but I'm not making mine that big, so I'm actually gonna stop at, I think I'm gonna stop at 20 on this one right here. So there's my 20, I'm gonna stop there. Once you end a row, this is where we started, that's where the tail's hanging. This is the end of the first row. Take your skein, take your ball of yarn and move it to the other side, because now you're going this way. So pick up the last knot, put the yarn the opposite way, put a loop through it, like this, and you're just going to keep going through the loops that you already created. Just like that. Okay, so you're going to come in between the loop that you created, grab the yarn, make a new loop. It's very easy to skip a loop. So if you did 20 to start, it may help to count to 20 each time you do a row. That way you don't miss one, if that makes sense. I'm almost at the end of this skein. I hope I'm seeing it right. When you're ready for the next skein or ball of yarn, once you get to the end of one, grab your next one, and you're just going to tie it together. So just take the two ends and tie it in a knot. You can pull it tight, but once the blanket is finished, you're going to check all these knots that you made and cut off all the little loose ends, but you want to pull it kind of tight, and then you'll just continue making loops. Put that whole piece through and keep going. All right, y'all, so I'm down 3 skeins. I'm getting ready to add the next color, but I wanted y'all to see so far what it's looking like. If you look close, you can see the pattern of the knots. So let's see, I have this skein and one more, so we only got 2 more to go. I've been, what now, about 30 minutes doing this one, so doesn't take long. I'm adding the color, so I'm just putting it in a knot. Remember to pull it tight when you make the knot, like that, and pick up where you left off. Grab it, pull it through. Grab and pull through. All right, so this is the last knot. So this is the last row here. This is how much is left of the skein, but I'm scared that it won't take me all the way down. So I'm gonna tie it off here and show y'all how to end the blanket, which is a little different than how we started it. So I hate to waste this piece, but I'd rather waste it than put all the knots in and get to the end of the row and it still doesn't work. So I'm just putting a little knot right there, and I'm gonna cut this off for your last row. All right, so for your last row, you're gonna grab all the knots, the ends, and loop them through each other. So here's the end, that one, and keep grabbing this is how you tie off the blanket. So if you see, it made like a little braid to end the blanket. And I'm pulling, kind of tugging it a bit because I want to make sure, I mean, don't rip it. This stuff is not that sturdy. But. And this is the last row. It's kind of like the first row, but backwards. We're coming all the way through. I didn't have the best setup. I should have did this at the table, but I was being lazy and wanted to sit on the couch. And we are at the end. So when you get to the end, right here, you can just take it and kind of tuck it back down in there. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to unravel. You can just kind of tuck it down, tie a knot in it if you want to. Totally fine. All right, so remember everywhere we added in the next color scheme and you tied the little knots, go back through the blanket, find those places, tie it really tight. Some of this yarn may pop off the ends. If it doesn't pop, just take your scissors and you can cut that off. Okay? You just wanted to make sure you tied it tight. So go back through your blanket everywhere that you added in a color. Ugh, I know I got more, but I don't see them. You go in and cut them off. And then where we started the blanket, that little tail at the beginning, tie it off again as well. Just kind of tie it into itself. Put a knot, pull it as tight as you can. Super duper tight. And then cut your little tail off. Or if you don't want to cut the tail off, you can just kind of loop it back through the blanket, but you can cut it off. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Here's another knot where we change color schemes. So I'm pulling and cutting tight. There you go. All right, we are all done. You like your blanket?
Mm-hmm.
So
right
you gonna lay on the floor?
Mm-hmm.
But you got a whole bed, bruh. You can take the blanket with you to bed if you
No, I can do that too.
All right, so this blanket was for him. As y'all can see, he is enjoying it. Hope y'all like this video with this tutorial of how to make a chunky blanket. And yeah, I'll put links in the description box for the skeins that I bought. But you can get it anywhere. And hopefully, well, it's only like 7:30. You out for the night?
Yeah, I might be.
He out for the night, y'all. So make your blankets, lay people out. Look at them. Bye, y'all.